I know, we're halfway through June. Where I been at, if you know, you know. And if you also know, I never forget about y'all. Of course, I'm coming back, Lord willing, universe willing, and giving y'all another video. And I'm back to update y'all on some June 2026 releases you should know about if you don't already. As per usual, I try to separate the books out by genre. You are welcome to check out the description box below where I have put the timestamps, and you're welcome to jump to the genre that you're interested in. First up is Golden Born by Ama Ofosua. 17-year-old Akoma Ado doesn't trust the supernatural, magic, or the ancestral power in her blood, especially after her father has a run-in with a mysterious entity that leaves him in a coma. Despite this, Akoma secretly investigates magical crimes in San Francisco's Africa Town. The job keeps her busy and keeps the grief at bay. A case arises that involves a body incinerated into a pool of molten gold and ash. A trickster god asks her for her help, and in return, he promises to help bring her father back. Sounds too good to be true, right? As Akoma investigates this case, she isn't sure whom she can trust, including herself. Next up is The Game of Oaths by S.C. Banderdy. It's 1896, and beneath a hotel in the heart of Paris is the famed Le Cirque des Ombres. On the surface, everything appears to be dazzling, though behind the scenes, performers are bound by magical contracts, making them potential players in the annual Game of Oaths. The wealthy elite watch these bloody games for sport. 12 will compete and only one will make it. Falan, a 17-year-old trapeze artist, has entered the games in memory of her sister. And she's not above playing dirty and forging unlikely alliances to look those in the eye responsible for her sister's death and getting revenge. On June 30th, The River She Became by Emily Varga. Yasima is living a double life. During the day, she is a loyal servant and scholar of the Empire, day in and day out, cataloging fey relics of her conquered kingdom. At night, she reclaims the artifacts in preparation for a trip to return to her dying homeland and restore its magic. When she recovers the key that will allow her to cross the river into the Fey world, she discovers a realm ruled by beautiful monsters and a captain who isn't all he seems, and after the same artifact. To save those they love, they must work together to outwit ancient curses, creatures, and find the power to resurrect their worlds. Last but not least, in young adult is The Lovers, The Liars, and Me by Deandra Davis. Jalea has never had a real boyfriend, a real adventure, and often has to bite her tongue in the presence of adults. But she's hoping this summer will be a bit different. She's graduating from high school as valedictorian and is planning to visit her family in Jamaica for the summer before college. Julia has many plans, such as finding out more about her estranged mother, getting to re-know her cousin who has changed so much, and maybe a summer rekindling with her childhood crush. She doesn't expect to add attracting the attention of the free-spirited and vibrant India to her summer plans and the feelings that she invokes. While searching for traces of her mother across the island, Julia finds herself entangled in complicated relationships, secrets, and new love. As she navigates this complicated summer, she finds herself at a crossroads. Does she stay the girl she has always been told to be? Or change to who she wishes to become. Kit Davenport is in trouble, and for anyone that knows him, this would be no surprise. Headstrong, reckless, and utterly unsuited for the stodgy House of Lords, Kit has spent years dodging his father's disapproval and delighting in clandestine rendezvous. His solution? A wildly impulsive decision that lands him aboard the Deliverance, a galleon captained by the charismatic Reggie Sharp. With a devil may care attitude and a delicious grin, Captain Sharp commands the waves with his crew of misfits, who all turn out to be pirates. Before Kit can say, wrong ship, he's trading ballroom etiquette for rum soaked camaraderie, explosive gunfights, and perhaps most excitingly, heart stopping kisses under the stars. But life at sea holds just as many secrets as it does treasures. And when Kit's past catches up to him, he'll have to decide who he truly wants to be, a gentleman or a pirate. Next up is The Shrouded Queen by Ashley Tropia that will be released on June 16th. As a slave, Samira has always known that she is expendable. So, when an attack is launched on the palace, she is ready to die as a decoy for her princess. But she is captured and forced to impersonate the princess and survive through brutal trials that are designed to awaken her divine powers, all under the watch of her dangerously intriguing shapeshifter captor. The real princess, Amunet, is now queen and on the run following the king's death. With only her guard Jassim by her side, she must evade the treacherous allies to contact her biological father, the god of the underworld. While Amunet embarks on a quest through the wastelands, Samira learns the true reason of the attack and unlocks secrets that could change everything. And with threats growing on all sides, Samira and Amunet must decide who they can trust. This next one I have put in a request for it at the library. It is The Misconnection by Tia Williams. As a booked and busy casting agent, Sasha Cruz knows how to pick 'em. She's always casting at happy hour, the grocery store, everywhere. She's all about finding the perfect person to slot into the perfect role. What she doesn't do, however, is relationships. Too much energy, not enough time. On a flight to Paris for work, a chance encounter with her type changes everything. Sasha's seated next to a broodingly attractive mystery man, and sparks fly. But they never exchange contact information. Convinced she's lost out on her soulmate, Sasha emails her work friend for help, but accidentally writes to the entire company worldwide. The international manhunt to find CF begins. Meanwhile, Sasha takes matters into her own hands. She hires a smoldering detective she knew in another lifetime, who complicates matters in unforeseen and irresistible ways. With a worldwide search underway, will love take flight for Sasha? This next novel is said to be a mind bending thriller about personhood and global migration. In Sublimation, when you immigrate, you leave a copy of yourself behind. This copy is called an instance. The instance remains in your home country, and you are free to enter the new one. And I know so many questions already. Is being separated at the border voluntary, Why does such a thing exist? Does leaving a part of yourself behind change you in any way? What does this mean already for the strained natural resources of planet Earth? Some instances keep in touch, call each other, keep their lives and minds in sync in hopes of reintegrating and resuming a life as one person. Others, like So Young Rose King, leave home at 10 years old and never speak to their other selves again. Rose in America never imagined going back to Korea until her grandfather died and her Korean family called her home for the funeral. Rose doesn't know that So Young plans to steal her body and her life. Last up is literary fiction, and for this category, I found Land by Maggie O'Farrell. On a windswept peninsula stretching out into the Atlantic, Tomas and his reluctant son Liam are working for the Great Ordnance Survey project to map the whole of Ireland. The year is 1865, and in a country not long since ravaged and emptied by the Great Hunger, the task is not an easy one. Tomas, however, is determined that his maps will be a record of the disaster. The British soldiers in charge are due to arrive any day, expecting the work to be completed. But Tomas is sent off course by an unsettling encounter in a copse. His life and those of his family will never be the same again. Liam is terrified by the sudden change in his father. What was it that caused such cracks to open in Tomas? And how is Liam, only age 10, going to finish the mapping and get them both home? And there you have it, June 2026 releases. Some you may have heard about and some you may have not. Let me know if any of the ones I went over are new to you and have now made it on your TBR. And until next time, you guys, stay safe, be blessed, and I will see you in the next one.